Hi, welcome to another SecureZIP tips and tricks video. SecureZIP is a robust data protection technology that operates on virtually any IT platform in an enterprise environment, including laptops, servers, mainframes, and mobile devices. SecureZIP protects data at rest or in motion using strong encryption. SecureZIP will also compress the data to reduce storage requirements and transmission times. We have posted several videos that cover SecureZIP for Windows desktop features. This brief video will focus on how to use the recipient list to easily encrypt files that multiple people can access using their digital certificate or private key. While the focus of this demonstration uses SecureZIP for Windows, the concept of using a recipient list is applicable to all SecureZIP operating environments. There will be occasions you need to share sensitive or confidential documents and files with others in the organization. To accomplish that, most people will either email each recipient a copy or store the documents in a share folder. Given the increased number of breaches and insider theft, it is important to secure the documents for only the intended recipient's eyes and not store or email them in the clear. SecureZIP is the perfect solution for encrypting the data using recipients' X509 certificates. SecureZIP will encrypt using the recipient's public key, so then only the recipient can access and decrypt the documents using their private key. The following are several examples of how to encrypt documents, files, and folders for multiple recipients using their X509 certificate or their public key. In this example, I'll show how to use a recipient list when creating a zip archive in SecureZIP for Windows. I'll click on the SecureZIP for Windows icon and open up SecureZIP. The first thing I need to do is create my zip archive and add files to it. So I'll click on the Add Files icon, and then I just need to select the folder or the set of files that I'd like to include in this zip archive. And I'll use the one right here showing in the window, Monthly Financial Reports 2014. Once I click on that to add that to the zip archive, I need to specify the name of the zip archive I'll be creating and the location I want to store that in. I'm going to go ahead and put that on my local drive in a folder that I call My Secure Files. I'll expand the folder and you'll see that there's 12 different reports in that folder. Currently, none have been encrypted, only have been compressed when put into the zip archive. So the last step in this operation is to go ahead and click on Encrypt, and I'll get the window up to choose or enter either a passphrase or choose the recipients from my recipient list. I'm going to do both. I'll go ahead and create a passphrase that I can use at any time to decrypt the contents of this zip archive. But to make it easier to share this with others and not have to worry about making sure they've received the passphrase, I'm going to go ahead and just include their public key in this encryption process so they can use their private key to do a decryption on any of the reports in that folder. I'll go ahead and also add my public key to this zip archive. And once I click on Other Certificates, I'll get a list of public keys that are in my local certificate store. I'm going to go ahead and add Jack as a recipient. I'll add Joe as a recipient. And I'll add Rob. And once I've done that and finished out of that process, each of my reports has now been encrypted. In the previous example of creating a zip archive, I showed how to create one and assign both a passphrase and a few public keys so that some of my colleagues could access that zip archive and use their private key to decrypt the contents. The public keys that I used were my local key store, so what I want to do is come back this time and show you how to retrieve a public key from your organization's key store in the event you haven't done it in the past and stored that in your local key store. So let's go back in to create a new zip archive. I'll use the same folder as before, Monthly Financial Reports. and I'll store it in that same location in a folder called My Secure Files. And then let's go in and do an encryption. So once again, I'll assign a passphrase, and that way if somebody needs to access this and I didn't include their public key, I can simply give them the passphrase that would unlock or decrypt the contents of that zip archive. Now to retrieve a key out of our organization's key store that might not be in my local key store, I simply do that by putting in their email address in this box above where my certificates are listed. So here I'll search for Jim Peterson's public key. That's retrieved. Notice it's already checked. I'm going to go ahead and check mine and uncheck a test public key that I have in my local key store and hit OK. So that archive has now been created and encrypted with both my public key, Jim Peterson's public key, and a passphrase as well. By the way, just to give you a little more background here on the certificate stores, if I go into my options and I click on certificate stores under the security tab, you'll see the certificate stores that I'm using or have access to. It's very easy if your organization has another or different key store that you need to access and use. You could simply go in here and click on add and go through. SecureZIP would step you through the options to specify to be able to access and use that key store. I just showed how easy it is in SecureZIP when creating a zip archive to have SecureZIP retrieve public keys of individuals from either a local certificate store or an organization's certificate store. I just wanted to come back in email and show that same process when you are attaching a file that you need encrypted and you want to include both a passphrase and individuals' public keys. I already have Outlook opened up. I've started to create my email I'll send. Two things I need to do to finish up the process. First, I'll go ahead and put in a few people that I want to send this to. And then I also want to attach the file, and I'm just sending them the most recent report. So I'll select the March 2015 financial report. That's now attached. Now once I hit send, SecureZIP will open up a window and it will ask me if I want to compress the file and create a zip archive. I'll go ahead and do that. And I'll change the name slightly on the zip archive that will be created and replaced into this attachment and sent to the users. I also will make sure that encrypt attachments is checked. And now once I hit next, the zip archive is being created. I'm asked for the name of the passphrase if I'd like to include that. Also, you'll notice that the public keys have already been retrieved. That will be included in the zip archive for both Joe and Rob. I'll make sure mine's also included, and I'll deselect the test certificate that I have in my local key store. Once I hit OK, then the encryption process will be completed and this email will be sent, and now that attachment will be set in encrypted state as a zip archive and not in the clear. I hope this brief video has demonstrated how to use a recipient list in SecureZIP when encrypting files, documents, and email attachments using each recipient's public key. If you need assistance, use the web address listed to contact our technical support team. Thank you.